What's up, everybody? Everybody's checking in. Rave, checking in. All right, if everybody can hear me, please just give a thumbs up. You know, I put these AirPods in. They're I just do them for the broadcast, but they tend to sometimes go in and out. I'm not used to them. Happy Monday. Tammy's here. I see Tammy's here. Billions, millions. The Beauty Shark Ginger's here. Maury. Devin, let me pin this. This is Power Shift Your Week. Okay, I'm pinning this. Just waiting for everybody. It looks like everybody's here. We're going to just get this party started. All right, so as you know, it's Power Shift Your Week. Every week on Monday, I share with people all the amazing things that I am learning and using to grow and using towards my business and my life. Appreciate you all. I know that last night we had a good time. We were doing, Jenny from the chopping block is here. Hey, Jenny. We had a really great night on Clubhouse last night. If you are on Clubhouse, check out my room my club on Clubhouse, excuse me. It's called If You Want to Be Rich, Think Like This. And it's us discussing all the things that you may not hear about on Shark Tank, but that add to wealth and riches in your life that may not necessarily be always about money. Tonight we're going to be on there at 7 p.m. or 7:15 p.m. Eastern, where I will be welcoming Miss Barbara Corcoran to Clubhouse, and we will be doing a great interview where you will be able to hear so much of Barbara's story, and you can learn so much from this brilliant woman. All right, so let's see. All right, so I'm going to just jump right in really quick, and then we're going to take a couple of people. So start pinging if you want to hop on with me, have a great question or any kind of question and or a suggestion on what you're doing these days to make you more proficient and things that we can all learn from. All right, so here we go. Did you know? According to 2019 State of Commerce report released by Shopify, social media drives discovery of brands and products, but it's not where most shoppers actually buy. So that means that your tweets or your Instagrams or a lot of things that you're posting on Facebook initially, it drives the discovery and people go, wait a minute, I like this. I want to check it out. But it's not actually where they buy the first time. All right. So, and I'm going to break that down to you. Think of this. Think of your customers doing their due diligence, that they're checking out your social media pages to basically see what complaints are out there about you, what praises and testimonies are out there about you. And then they're going to decide if they further want to go to your website and convert a sale or a Shopify page and things of that nature. And when they get over to the site, well, is your site looking like your social media? Or your posts tied back to the way that your site looks. Because a lot of times, as we all know, because there's a lot of tricky things out there, you put in the name wrong, you go, am I at the right site? Am I watching the right thing? So that's extremely important to make sure you have that continuity. And I'll give you an example on, it's not exactly how this went, but back in the days before there was social media, but there still was the internet, like right around 2003, 2004, we had all these great pieces of Fugu product and all these great videos, and it looked beautiful. But what we didn't do was we didn't invest in great photography for the websites. And at that time, you couldn't go and take a video and put it on a website because, of course, the artist or the label would say, what are you doing? You're using my company as, this music and all this other stuff when, you can't do that. So what did we do? We used to design in flats. It wasn't even like how this picture seemed very three-dimensional. You would see the shirt that was made with the Fubu one in a flat. So people would go and see all these beautiful ads we put out and all this great music video, and they would go and see this little flat that looked like it was a Flat Stanley or whatever you call that little character, whatever it is, and they wouldn't convert the sale because they would look at it and say, what is this crap? But we didn't think about it, and the internet was so new to us selling online that only years later we would realize that after other people started putting out really great product on their stuff, that we had made a big mistake. It wasn't converting. So these are the things that you can definitely learn from, and make sure that you apply this to your site, making sure that your social media converts. So here's going to be my challenge for you. I want you to ask 3 people to review your social media pages and then your website, specifically asking them if, number 1, your social media adequately shows your product or services, because sometimes it does not, believe it or not. And number 2, if your website resembles your social media enough that if a prospective buyer saw your Instagram post and then checked out your website, would they immediately know that it was the correct site? Just ask 3 separate people and be ready to be very open to their, to their comments. Make sure there are also people that most likely shop a lot, because these people, already are in tune with when they are seeing ads and seeing sites. And if you do that, that should be great. All right. So, Lily, don't worry about it if they're commenting on silly stuff. They're just not listening, and they're spending their time listening to me when they could be doing something more proficient with themselves. All right, I'm going to bring on some people right now. Let's see, who do we have here? Yandi. Yandi, waiting for Yandi. What's happening?
How you doing, brother?
I am well. How are you?
I'm great.
All
Thanks.
right. Where are you?
I'm in Orange, New Jersey.
Where?
Orange, New Jersey.
Okay, Orange, New Jersey.
Yes.
All right. What's happening, mister? You got a question?
Yes. You're financially independent, right?
I think so.
Yeah. That's a goal of mine, and I just want to know, like, what's some advice for you on, like, how to get that in my life.
Ooh, great question. Very general question. I don't know what you're doing. Are you working right now? Are you saving? Are you working? Are you creating a business? What are you doing to get that? Because and what is financially independent to you? You know, some people can live off of $40,000 a year. Some people need, $4 million a year. So, those are a couple of questions you're gonna have to ask yourself.
Right. So right now I'm doing construction. Uh, Me and my dad has a construction company, so I'm running that with him, and I'm saving, uh, paying the bills that I have, the car bills. Still with my parent, my mom. I'm living with my mom right now, um, and going. That's really where I'm at right now. Uh, I have I have some debt that I have to handle, and then yeah, that's
Cool. So the first thing you want to do is reduce the debt, right? Because the debt is you're paying for somebody else's expenses, right? And most likely, if it's credit cards, it can be anywhere from 18% up to how much you're paying. So if you think about that, every $100 you owe, you're paying somebody $118 or $120, right? And that debt is compounding. So that's the first thing, because before anybody goes out and says, let me open up a business or run a business or do anything else like that, well, if you run a business, you'd be lucky if you made 20% net on your business, meaning, let's say you sold $100 worth of stuff, and after you pay for the product, the advertising, the services, the warehousing or the lights and the staff and the insurance, you most likely will make maybe 20%. That would be great, right?
right.
But if you're already paying somebody else 20% or 18% a credit card bill, well, then wouldn't you want to just reduce that cost before you go and try to build a business and put everything at risk to
Right.
make that amount of money? So number one, you want to do that. You also want to you want to learn and read books on and try to get financial intelligence. And there's various ways you can do that. Of course, a great book that everybody knows and loves is called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm. Yeah.
by Robert Kiyosaki. You read it?
Yes.
Excellent step. Um, you also play the Rich Dad Poor Dad game that he has. It's called Rat Race. And what that means is, it shows you what he puts it as what a doodad is or what a necessity is, I think. And a doodad are things that don't pay for themselves, meaning depending on the type of car you have, it could be a doodad if you're paying, for a high car note where that car is depreciating in value,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what you want to do because the way that my buddy Grant Cardone likes to say it is everything he owns, somebody pays for, and every place that he lives, he rents. Why? Well, if you go and get a house or an apartment, and some of that money that you have, you invest in an apartment, you can Airbnb it, and if the monthly mortgage on that apartment is $1,000, but you rent it out for 1,200, well, then those people are paying for your bills, and you're depreciating the property, and you're getting write-offs, so they are paying for your life, which is great. But and I can't say I agree necessarily on everything that Grant will say, but Grant will say the place that he lives, he rents. And why does he rent it? Because he uses it as a business expense, and he writes off half of it, kind of like if you go to a hotel. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So those are a couple of things you can do. If you want to think about stocks, you can go and watch Jim Cramer. He does a show called Mad Money every day, every Monday through Friday around 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. after the market closes. You can get a better understanding on how stocks work. So it's like if you watch Shark Tank and you see how we think about investing in startups, you
Yeah.
can watch Mad Money and start to understand the dialogue on stocks. All right. So remember, your assets are what feeds you, and your liabilities are what eats you. An asset is something that you purchase that feeds you and works for you. A liability is something that sucks your blood. You have a
Right.
bank account
I do.
at the bank?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. A lot of people of color don't have really good credit, or they're afraid of walking into the bank. And it's important to get to know your banker when you don't need the money. And sometimes you're embarrassed, or you feel like, well, if I don't have millions of dollars, I don't want the banker doesn't want to talk to me. But the banker wants to meet the Daymond John before they're Daymond John, right? So that you stay with them. Go in to the bank and get to know the banker. Ask them about their financial instruments they have, and don't be ashamed if you only have $100. Because if the banker doesn't want to sit with you when you have only $100, well, then their ass shouldn't be in your community. So you should learn from them and start going in and talking to them as much as you can, and then hopefully something will, some of those things will teach you on how to, um, invest or put your money to work for you. You want your money. You want to be making money when your head's on the pillow,
Right.
when you're sleeping, cha-ching, 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 while you're sleeping.
Right.
All
Uh,
right, young man. So listen, do another thing as well. Be vulnerable like you are, and in front of all these people right now, you are asking for help and you are showing that you live with your mother, and keep being vulnerable like that. There's too many people out there giving you bullshit advice. They don't want to say that, what they need. They're acting so cool like they got it all, and they don't. And go through life learning like you're doing right now, and asking for people to give you this knowledge, and people will die to give you knowledge because they see, that you're willing to learn, and hopefully you'll be passing that on to somebody else as you become more and more successful.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you
right,
very much.
all right,
Thank
brother.
you.
Please, thank you. If only our kids felt that way to ask us as parents or ask other people that they respect. If only our kids would do that, and they would be in a much smarter place. But a lot of times, we unfortunately have this ego in front of us, which is, listen, I had it too, and sometimes my worst mistakes is when I couldn't get out of my own way. And later on, I said to myself, what the hell happened to me? Why didn't I just ask somebody? All right, I'm gonna get Daniela in here. Thank you,
Got connected.
Frobees. How you doing?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's happening? You Daniela?
Yes, I'm Daniela.
All right, great. So do you have a question? Where are you?
I'm actually in France. I'm working remotely.
Oh, that's so nice. France, working remotely. That's
Yes,
that just sounds baller.
it's okay. We have a curfew.
Oh, you do? All right.
Yes.
So, you got a question, a comment?
Yes. So I asked, I want to know what are your views about the online store e-commerce, like drop shipping, AliExpress? Like what do you think? Do you think that's the future? Do you think it's a bubble?
No, it is absolutely the future. I mean, it is the now. Drop shipping and things of that nature. I share it with people all the time. You want to be one step away from the money. You want to go directly to your consumer and be able to talk to them and be able to deliver directly to them because right now we're witnessing so many people that may have a store or an outlet or a restaurant. They have to risk closing down because they never got the data on their customer, and their customer is right around the corner. Because you got to remember today, people are still consuming the same exact things that we've consumed before. People are eating 3 times a day or maybe 9 times a day. They're still working out. They're still watching television. They're not walking around naked. They're still buying clothing. They're still buying medicine. It's just where are they buying it from? So
Right.
the retail stores maybe having a hard time only if they don't have things to incentivize people to shop where they are. So you absolutely have to have that ability to any of your companies or any brands that you have.
Okay.
All right, because I'm gonna tell you something. When you talk directly to your customer like that, years ago when we started our business, we used to have these things called focus groups, and that was because we had to go and get a bunch of kids and stick them in a room and feed them pizza, and every one of them $100 to give us comments about the FUBU stuff. And because they wanted to make sure they ate the pizza and they got $100 and they can come back tomorrow, they just told us all the crap that we wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you have directly, you're talking to your consumer and they can hide behind technology like this, they're going to tell you all the things that you don't necessarily want to hear, but you need to hear. And that's extremely important on why you should be able to touch your consumer directly.
Okay. Good.
All
Get
right.
it. That's
All
that's all.
right. Well, thank you. How do you say stay well in French?
Oh, stay well. Actually, I don't speak French. I speak Spanish.
How could you be in France without knowing, in Paris without knowing a little French?
Oh, I get around with Spanish,
Okay.
and so
Well, good.
that's all.
I barely know English, so you're good. All right.
Well, thank you
Later.
so much.
My pleasure.
Bye.
All right. Working virtually from France. That just sounds nice. All right. Let's see who else we have here. Let's get some good questions here. Yanni, I know you would have been able to um, say it. Let's see. Wavy Lex. Resta bien. Resta bien. I like that. I like that. All right, we are waiting for Wavy Lex. 300C Money, I see you. Swag Master Drake, I see you. Tune_17. Annie Chopra, I see. Okay, Wavy Lex is taking too long. I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer. I just do not want to keep everybody waiting. All right, let's see. Okay, well, how do I cancel Wavy Lex? Because maybe she's having some all right, maybe she's having some bad connection. Let's see who else we got here. Waiting for now I can't get to anybody else at the moment. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, All right. She's unable to join. All right. View request. Here goes some more. Go live with CL Care. It looks like it says. Let me see. Ciela Cares 808, I believe. That's the name. Ashoop 77, what's happening? How do I gotta ask in person? Deborah. Let's see who else is on here. When should someone stop trying? I like that question. I don't know why I'm not connecting with people right now. Jeez. Remember tonight, if you're on Clubhouse, 7:15 with me and Barbara Corcoran. Oh, by the way, here's who I'm going to have while we're waiting for Ciela Cares 808. Here's who I have tomorrow on. I have my mentor, Jay Abraham, but I also have Mindy, the casting, the person who cast everybody for Shark Tank. She will be on here tomorrow with me at 1 o'clock, and she will be sharing with you how to get on to submit to be on Shark Tank for season 13. We are starting now to look for people for season 13. Let's see who else we have here. So if you want to put your hat in the bucket for season 13, I'm going to be learning from her because I really don't know the details on how they get people on Shark Tank. So be on here and have your pitch ready. Maybe I will even take some pitches. Maybe one day I'll actually do that, a special one with her, and take some pitches. Well, you know what? I can't take the pitches necessarily because then I can't know of the person, because then you get disqualified. So I can't interview her. I'm trying to bring people on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring on BBA_organic right now. And let me see. Somebody said, please get me on. They said, please get me on. That was on Shark Tank. Somebody said, how can you get an invite to Clubhouse? I really don't know. Honestly, they give them out randomly, Clubhouse. Just hit up people, and I guess because also if you the people that you suggest on Clubhouse, if they become like bad people and start saying crazy things because you recommended them, you can get striked from Clubhouse. I am sorry. I keep trying to bring people on, and Grown Dating Talk. Who is that? Let's see. Grown Dating Talk. I want to find out about people dating these days. How easy is it, or how difficult is it? Let's see if we can get Grown Dating Talk on here. Come on, come on. Grown Dating Talk. How many of you are out there are single right now and you are trying to date during a pandemic? I'm really interested in that answer right there. I'm going to bring that up to Barbara tonight.
Okay,
Hey.
you pulling me up here today.
Huh?
Hey, I said you really pulled me up here today. I didn't expect to get pulled on panel.
It's all good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you? I'm definitely doing good, and you?
I am blessed. I'm here with you, and I'm here with a lot of amazing people. And your branding, you brand yourself just the right way. Boom, Grown Dating Talk. It is simple as that. And
I'm trying to increase the followers.
You are increasing the
interaction
followers.
up there. So Grown Dating Talk, that's my baby. I actually just started it this past October. It was an idea that came up in August after a failed engagement. So I thought back on all of my relationship experience over time, and I think like a lot of times people, when they have a lot of failed relationships or things don't work out, they become bitter. And I said, that's not the answer. I noticed that a lot of the issues that went on have to do with communication and lack of openness between the genders. So sometimes men come to the table and they're healed and not broken or wounded, and they can communicate effectively, but they have a partner who cannot communicate effectively, or vice versa with women. So for me, Grown Dating Talk was a platform that I created so that men and women can sit down together and talk about vital topics and content, even in uncomfortable ways, that come up in dating that would normally make men and women fight or break up. So I said we can combat cancel culture by teaching the genders how to talk to each other and how to have these conversations in non-toxic ways, and also to help the youth who are in their 20s who are coming up, because in the environment I was born in the inner city in New York City in the Bronx. And a lot of relationships started out of friends with benefits or situationships, as they call them today. And that's not necessarily healthy. That's not healthy all the time. So when you have the youth growing up thinking that that's the way to formulate relationships, it's no wonder that we have a lot of bitter, heartbroken people out there with all kinds of trauma. So I said, you know what? And I can change that game by creating a platform where we can really call out the red flags and yellow flags that you see in dating and hold the genders accountable for talking about it in a real way.
So when you say you have this platform, does that mean that I go on there as just a stranger and I hear other people's views on these matters, or am I going on there with my lady, or I guess it could be a guy going on there with his significant other, whatever that
Yes.
means to be, and we ourselves are communicating about our instances right now. So is it which one is it?
So for season 1, it was myself and the co-host going on, calling out.
Oh, so it's a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's a show. But the great thing about this show is we have ordinary, regular, degular, jugular, smugulars on there too. We have people who are coming up in the world, making a mark as entrepreneurs. We've also invited some famous faces on because we're filming season 2 right now, and that's set to launch at the end of February.
Well, where can we get it? Because you keep saying filming and airing. Where is this platform? Is it YouTube?
Oh,
Is it
it's
where
on
is
YouTube.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's on YouTube. So we're still up and coming. So we haven't hit the 1,000 viewership yet, but we're getting there. So it's still all good. And for season 2, season 1, we had 30-minute episodes. For season 2, I'm bringing on different types of couples, people who are relationship therapists, married people to offer advice, people who are single and dating, people who are in polyamorous relationships, people who are in monogamous relationships. Like, let's talk about it. So I want.
Well, I forgot. I remember somebody told me that meaning before. Polyamorous. What is that?
So that
listen,
means...
my lingo is not that big. You know, I'm thinking about somebody wrapped up in plastic and getting freaky dicky. But polyamorous is not that. What is it?
No, polyamorous is where you have it's kind of like an open marriage to some. So it's a man or a woman that's together, and it could be, you know, women, or man. But most of the situations I know of are men and women who are in a relationship, but the man is allowed to have girlfriends and the woman is allowed to have boyfriends. And they just need to have an agreement, like, this is who I'm going to be talking to, this is who I'm going to be talking to. And then they say to that person, but this is my husband and this is my wife. So, you know, I'm not into polyamory, but there are people out there who are with that, and I respect that if that's what they're into. But I'm going to have an episode soon coming up for season 2 where we get polyamorous and monogamous couples out to talk about this.
Ooh, we could be here for so long.
I know.
All right, so how can people? I guess their marriage has to be. They have to say their vows and understand their vows. I guess, right? So they're being married, hopefully under someone that is greater, a being that is greater, but they're allowing people to physically share their bodies with other people. You're saying, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
how
do
people...
that, but you know. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, you know, listen. A lot of people will say that monogamous for the male, excuse me, is a very Western culture type of thing. I mean, we've heard it all, right? We've heard that that men can reproduce every hour and the female can reproduce every 9 months, and that's the purpose. Or that mostly every species there is a bull and a bunch of cows. There is one lion and a bunch of lionesses, and we are not built like that. It's only Western. And the other side, people will say, well, no. You look at the Muslim culture or many other cultures, it was the men that went to war had a lot died. There was a lot of shortage of men. So if they were going to take on many wives, they were supposed to take them on and care for them all like they, you know, it wasn't about going down this hole.
No, you're not, but it's great because even to piggyback on that, think about Africa. A lot of people say there are more women than men in Africa. So they think about it like, when they think about it statistically, there's like 8 women to every 1 man in Africa. So that's why they practice polygamy there, not necessarily polyamorous, but polygamy. So because of that that ratio. So I'm like,
You know,
okay, I can
I
understand
want to
that.
make sure guys, I want to make sure guys do understand this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see it in the Mormons and stuff like that. Have you ever seen that show with the Mormons with those it don't look like them dudes is
Yeah.
having a good time. Like you can say it all you want, yo. I want a couple of women, but whoo,
The
them dudes,
responsibility that comes with that, because you have to
that
think
ain't
about
fun.
it.
It ain't fun.
What you buy one, you have to buy everybody. So if you decide you want 4 different women, that's fine. Can you buy shoes for all of them? Can you take all of them shopping? All of them that you have kids with, you need to buy all of the children things equally. When you buy
Yeah.
the property might not be in your name. It might be in their name. So when
The
you
sister
say,
wives, isn't it called sister wives? That's what
yeah, sister wives. So
yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you another question. What are you seeing right now with with people in COVID? Because one of my friends did say to me, or say to my wife, and this is a serious matter to the extent she said, all my friends are in COVID relationships, and a lot of my single friends are now suffering from substance abuse, depression, because everybody else is booed up.
because, excuse my French, they got to deal with their own shit during COVID.
Yeah.
That's why.
So,
So their partner doesn't have to deal with them
is there
anymore.
any? I mean, and listen, thank God I'm not single. I'm absolutely obsessed with my wife, and I think that after we get out of COVID, you're going to see either a large amount of divorces and or a large amount of babies.
Well, hopefully
And
we'll get to
probably.
have you guys on the show so you can tell us what that's like. You know, that'd be interesting.
Oh no,
Oh yeah, I'm putting it on the
she
spot.
probably watching that. She don't like that type of stuff. She allows me to do my thing. But what are people doing in COVID relationships? Are they I mean, are they getting close? Or are they just finding a couple of different people to say, yo, I got my COVID test, and then they just go out there and make ugly faces all night with each other
Mm-hmm.
and in different bunch of rooms? I mean, what do you find? I mean,
It's actually a
oh,
compilation of both, because we just shot an episode called COVID Dating, which will come out in season 2. And what we found is that some people are having COVID tests and then shacking up. So they're
right.
like, let's quarantine together, which I think is kind of really out there, because you don't know this person. This person could turn out to be a serial killer a few weeks later, you know, if you put the butter knife in the wrong drawer. So, you know, you don't
Right.
put that lotion back in the basket, you never know what's going to happen. Some people are, but most people for COVID dating want tests done. They want a physical proximity of 6 feet still, but they're still more open and willing. And if the tests come back negative for both people, then they're willing to proceed with dating the same way it was before COVID. But they're sticking to one person instead of saying, well, these are 3 or 4 people who tested negative that I could be interested in. They're kind of doing a one-on-one thing. And if it doesn't work out, then they'll X that person out and then move on to show interest to another person, provided the testing comes back. So I kind of think they're treating COVID dating kind of like HIV testing before you get a tattoo.
Good. I got 2 more questions for you. I'm fascinated with this conversation.
Okay.
Do you think, from a male's perspective, because I'm going to get to the female stuff as well, do you think from a young man, because you were talking about young men and women, and you were saying friends with benefits was not, you weren't saying it was wrong, but you said, what were you explaining about friends with benefits, why that may not necessarily be good? Or maybe I put words in your mouth. I wasn't certain.
No, so what I was saying is, when it comes to the friends with benefits idea, that's not a good way to start a relationship out, because when it's friends with benefits, it's purely lust focused. So what happens is this person has some things in common with you, but you're really getting together at the time when you need to scratch itches, so to say. And then you have these 2 people that are using their bodies to kind of, you know, my term, nicest way, jerk each other off. And I'm like, okay, so you're using a person in the place of, you know, of XXX, XXX website, you know. But once the lust dies down, what happens? There's no interest. So now I got with this guy out of a friends with benefits situation. But now if I want to talk about MLK, if I want to talk about the price of rice in China, if I want to know why is the stock market impacted by the presidential candidacy and things like that, this man can't engage me on that. You can engage me after 9 o'clock, but you can't engage my mind between 12 in the afternoon and 4 in the afternoon. And that is a problem. So I feel that when it comes to the friends with benefits portion, people have to be really careful for that. Because if you're going to do a friends with benefits, and this is just me, that might be, I would probably like limit that to me being a very busy person who is high value, and I have a lot of projects, I have a lot of traveling, there's so much going on in my schedule that I have to make an arrangement with somebody whom I happen to have a lot of things in common with, and we don't have a lot of time. So maybe that's how we get down, and it could progress to a relationship. But the way people are normalizing this stuff out here nowadays, that's not a good thing. It's not leading to any relationships. It's leading to more drama and more broken people trying to take their addict baggage into the next relationship, if that answers it.
You know, I mean, I guess you could look at it that way. I look at it as what is the basic need, and again, this is going to be a women from Venus, men from Mars type of stuff. Because I look at it like I don't want to even know how good your conversation is if that stanky ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, I don't know. You know, I look at when I was dating, not prior to my first wife, I looked at. And all the women that I tend to have become real serious about, I looked at it as I was dating. I was always open the fact that I was dating.
Yes.
And because so what used to happen is if I was dating and a woman would say to me, you know, I wouldn't ask if she's dating or not. I would say, I'm dating. And then after a couple of months or whatever the case is, and she would say, or hear or think that I was with somebody else, and she'd go, oh, listen, I didn't know we had an open relationship. Or I'd be like, I told you I was dating, just because I didn't come back and go, listen, you should see what I had last night. Just because I didn't share that with you out of respect. You know, but I did find that my relationship got more serious as I had, of course, a physical relationship with a woman. But then I also noticed that when I wanted to laugh, I called this person. When I wanted to cry, I called this person. When I wanted to do other stuff, I called this person. And that person became more of, okay, I know we already got the physical stuff out of the way that was very compatible. But man, I like you so much more. And those became my real relationships. Those became the most valuable relationships I had. The ones that I had this expectation because they were smart, because they were funny, or because they were hardworking people. My anticipation of the relationship was here, and as reality set in,
it declined.
Like that.
Yeah, it went down. But do you think, and I want to ask you a counter question on this one, do you think that could be the fact that for men, showing love is like a physical thing? When you grow up, mom gives you food physically. She gives you these clothes that you like. She gives you these hugs and kisses. So love is shown in a physical way. Whereas when girls grow up, love is shown a little bit differently. It's shown in the rigid expectations that are put in. Carry yourself this way, dress this way, do this, do that, talk like this. Don't be like that, offer these things to people. So it makes me wonder sometimes if that difference is the physical versus the non-physical between the genders, because women care about attention and affection. That's our love language. Men's love language
That's true,
is,
but
did you give me that nanny? And are you bringing peace to this environment so I can go out and conquer the world without stress on my head? But I could be wrong.
Spot on, and I cannot tell you what a woman deems as love, but I can tell you what a man does, and we are physical beings, and we're lured physically. You see, you know, when a woman wakes up, you know, she puts on the makeup, puts on the beautiful, tight, alluring things, and/or the hair is alluring, whatever it is. And then you get mad at us when we go, wow, I really want to have sex with that person. And, you get mad at us when we do that. You know, guys. We get up, we look in the mirror. Every time I've looked in the mirror, I've looked like Denzel Washington or Tyson Beckford, and I just go outside like whatever,
like
belly hanging all out, not giving a shit. But the women, you know, batting their eyes or making themselves really beautiful. So when you look beautiful like that, what are we supposed to say? I can't wait to have a conversation with you. We're like, yo, I want to hump you. You know, and why not? And listen, I sold clothing. Right. And I know that a woman will never buy a pair of jeans unless her hiney looks amazing in it. I ain't never look at my damn hiney in my jeans. I ain't never look at my hiney in my jeans.
It's okay. Women will look at them. See, women are physical in certain realms. Women need that connection. They look for the deeper connection, which then turns them on. Men, that deep connection is, does she look good? And then if I can connect with you on the physical level, then I'll be interested to see who you are after the fact. And I think that's been the battle between the genders, because women want to be loved, not lusted after. And men are saying, but you're so lustful, you look so lusting good, you know, let me experience you and I'll tell you if I want to love you.
Well, I got one other area with social media. Is it that young men are too desensitized due to overabundance of available porn,
Yes.
social media, Instagrams, and all that stuff? So are they growing up not understanding how to respect the woman? Because I got 3 little girls. Which, you know, obviously it's a big concern of mine. And are the women obviously
accepting
making it
this
hard
and dropping standards?
Yeah, because, you know, if you are a young woman or a mature woman, and if every time you notice that you're into somebody, but yet they're always on Instagram or something else looking at people oiled up and all kinds of stuff like that, but you refuse to drop your standards, but you're realizing that this is where the person's eyes are going. Like, how do you find a mate? How do you find somebody of value with that? Or do you say, don't worry about all that. Trust me, we get to that point in our relationship, you're going to see all that, and it's going to be just for you, not for the people on social media. How do women compete in such a crazy time?
I think that it has to do with boundaries and standards, in all honesty. Because one thing I'll say, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm about to be 40 years old in the next, 7 days? And I carry myself with a lot of pride and self-respect. So I'm not afraid, and I know other women, and I advocate for women to not be afraid. It's not cancel culture. It's called not settling for the nonsense anymore, because women need to recognize that we are a part of the problem as to why we're dealing with a lot of the things that we're dealing with in the male gender today. It's not just their fault. This got accepted from somewhere. When daddy was a Rolling Stone back in the day, mamas was letting him lay his hat wherever he wanted to. He let them park that Cadillac wherever he wanted to. Before we had social media, daddy couldn't find other women to go and look at their booties and different things like that, because that wasn't happening on AOL. You weren't having that in the chat rooms and stuff. But now that we have social media and technology being so prevalent, you have these issues. What I do is I'm not scared to walk away. I'm not scared to put a little distance, because at the end of the day, when you're coming home to me as a man, I can be 23 different women throughout the year. I can put a wig on, I can put lashes on, I can take on a different vernacular, any kind of thing to keep you interested. But if you really want to be out there and you're not done with your whole phase, because women and men go through whole phases and they need to accept that and admit that and be accountable for that. Everybody does. But if you're not done with your whole phase, then I'm going to stay over here. I want you to find happiness in whatever you want. And if life leads us back together later, then that's what it is. But if it doesn't, and you decide to come back and the next man is here that wanted to take me seriously, fill in that spot, then I hope you can use me as a measure to find the next woman out there who has the traits in that you wanted, so you can keep pushing forward. But if you want to lose a good thing, that's on you. So I think it has to do with boundaries, because what boundaries one man won't accept, the next man that's right will snatch that up. And when you don't have boundaries, you make yourself a victim for these low vibrational people out here who go, she doesn't have a sense of self. Yeah, let me get her because she can be my side chick. She could be wifey jump off 2.0. No, I don't want to do that.
Strong words. I reflect as I have this conversation with you, that my mother always has and always will. She carries herself like a lady. My ex-wife carries herself like a woman, a lady, a classy lady. My wife and my daughters all do. I am fortunate enough, and I don't know why God has blessed me with that. Because the most frustrating thing probably to see is that you love your children and they don't love themselves or value themselves. So that's really amazing. What else was I going to say? This is a fascinating conversation. It really is amazing. And I think you said it spot on. You know, like my buddy Champ would say, you know, when he was dating, he'd be like, some of the women were younger. He'd be like, man, I'm getting filled up off all this junk food. I'm like, what do you mean junk food? He was like,
Yes.
that was a quick snack. I got a belly full of gummy bears. I need some soul food around here. I need some protein. He said, oh, that shit is junk food. So
Exactly.
don't be junk food. You can be junk food if you want. You can always have a snack here and there. But unless you want to be junk food and you getting through your what you call your whole phase,
Yep, your
don't
whole
be
face.
don't be junk food. Don't be somebody's junk food, and
That's
don't
right.
and don't get full off of junk food. You can't have Cheetos for dinner.
Thank you.
You know.
I'm a filet mignon. I'm a porterhouse steak, and I have to be cooked the right way. So you want to enjoy this filet mignon, you want to enjoy this porterhouse steak, then you come to the right restaurant, or you pick up the meat and you season it well. That's exactly
That's right.
what you got to do. But you're not going to walk into McDonald's and find me. You're not going to walk into Popeyes and find me, and I'm fine with that.
Excellent. So where can we find the show? Your name, because I don't have it on here now. What's the
Oh, it's
name of your
called
Instagram?
Grown Dating Talk. So we're on Instagram at Grown Dating Talk, and we are on YouTube for Grown Dating Talk. And I am Alana V. I'm the host of the show. So people normally know me with my lashes and stuff, but it's a Monday, so I haven't got done up yet. But
That's right. You working. You working. You paying
yeah,
attention to the more important things. I appreciate that.
there you go.
Thank you so much for the interesting dialogue. I hope that even if we change one person's perception or change their life a little bit and they find love, I hope that happens. So
I
I
hope so
appreciate you.
too. And thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And I hope to have you on the show soon. So
All right. Thank you.
okay. Bye guys. Tune into Grown Dating Talk on YouTube. You'll love it. Okay. Bye-bye.
There you have it. She really pleasant surprise to know, a lot of people out there are dealing with challenging situations, and you don't want to get into a different relationship where it's not helping you during these times. But also, people are free to date and discover themselves. So fascinating, fascinating conversation. I definitely will be checking her out. And that's pretty much it. Listen, tomorrow, remember, I'm going to have my mentor, Jay Abraham, the person that I go to give me knowledge. He's going to be on here. Please get your questions ready. I'm also going to have on here Mindy from Shark Tank. She is the casting director, and she's the one who will be telling you what she looks for when she's out there casting. And we are now casting for season 13. So, make sure you're there. Oh, I got it. I always listen. Please also send in dad jokes because I love reading people's dad jokes. They are extremely entertaining. I'm going to leave you with, let's see if I can find a nice dad joke right here. Okay. All right. Let's try these out. All right. Are you ready? Because let me see who sent this in. I don't think the name here is who sent this in. What's a chiropractor's favorite kind of music? It really is all in the timing. What's a chiropractor's favorite kind of music? Hip hop. You know what? I'm gonna laugh at that one a little bit later. I know I am. All right. Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? Oh well, he just needed a little space. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.